Guys, Dan Hendriksen here. We're at Torquay Golf Club. We're in the studio today and we're going to be reviewing the Scotty Cameron Newport 2 putter by Titleist. Now, I've brought James in with me. James Urquhart is the head coach here at Torquay Golf Club. He's a specialist when it comes to the Sam Putt Lab, and him and I are going to be reviewing this putter together. Now, if you are new to the channel and you like what you're seeing from this video, please hit that subscribe button. But for now, let's hit some putts. So the Newport 2 putter. Now for me, it doesn't get much more traditional when you look at a putter than it is with this particular style of putter. Now this is actually a putter that I use myself, and I have moved into this particular model. And the reason why I did that from, let's say, the previous model is this year they've done some really impressive things. They've made the putter look a little bit smaller when you look down on it. So the profile of the putter is definitely, in my eye, fractionally smaller than the previous model. It's also got a thinner top rail on it, and also the face is slightly thinner as well, and they've taken out the insert, so you're getting more of a solid feel off the face, which to me and my eyes is definitely an improvement from the previous model. So this style of putter has been used by many top players, and notably one of them would be Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods has used this style of putter many years now. And this year's model that they've brought out is they've had Tiger Woods in mind when they're producing this putter. And Scotty Cameron will tell you that when Tiger lines up his putts, he's not actually using, let's say, the line on the back of the putter, because on his putter, he's only got a small dot on the top rail. What Tiger uses is the neck. He uses this part of the neck to be able to line up his putts and get that ball sort of centered up to where he wants it aiming on the green. To me, again, thinking about all the things that go on with designing these putters, having tour players' influence is a massive part in how you produce the quality and what you get from these putters. Right, let's head over to James now and get some specs on this particular putter, but also we're going to have a little look at what numbers I'm getting from this putter to see if it actually works for me. James, give me the specs on the Newport 2 putter.
Okay, Newport 2 putter can come in 35, 34, 33 inches.
They can custom this length as well. It's not specifically in inches, is it? You can get a different custom option for these as well?
Yeah, it comes in half inches. Okay. So depending on if I was fitting someone on Sam,
yes, and
I found that their strike was maybe a little off, we could tinker with the lie, or we could also tinker with the length. Okay. So we could maybe change it half inch, make it a 30, 34 and a half. Yes. We might again then need to start tinkering with the weight of the putter as well.
You can really dial in, can't you?
You can really dial in depending on. Let's disregard lessons for a moment. We can purely dial in on the fitting side of things. Obviously, depending on the length, when it's coming in a 35 inch, these dual weighted points in the sole are 30 grams set. 35 grams set for 34 inches in loft,
yes,
and 40 grams set in 33 inches of loft.
So interchangeable, but we're not interchanging them in store, are we? That would be done,
that would be done
by Scotty Cameron themselves, or Titleist would set you up. But those can be altered. So I've ordered one previously in a 40 gram weight in a 34. So it's custom. It comes down to what the person likes or feels. Yeah,
exactly. How they like the feel, what sort of speed of greens they're playing on, etc. Lie angle is set standard at 70. But can be 2 degrees up or 2 degrees flat.
Okay, that's in the custom order, yeah?
That's
so if we came in for a fitting, that you could manoeuvre that around with the order.
Correct.
Okay. Loft for the putter?
Loft is 3.5 degrees.
Okay.
So a lot of putters are 3
like
degrees.
Their standard for
they're standard,
putters in this
again, can be manoeuvred depending on how someone's delivering their dynamic
Okay,
loft.
And how much can they manoeuvre that?
It can be manoeuvred by a degree.
A degree either way, so you can add it up to 4.5, you can move it down to 2.5, depending on what fitting works for you.
Correct.
Okay, what grip have we got on that putter?
Pistolini grip, which is the same for all the special select putters.
So gone back to a kind of slightly, I would say, smaller profile of grip from
slimmer grip.
Yeah, slimmer grip from years gone by. They were starting to get thicker and thicker over time, didn't they?
Yeah, the Super Stroke became popular on tour, and it's kind of gone back to a slightly slimmer grip, which I quite like actually.
So tell me about the key ingredient for this particular putter, which is the neck of it.
Yeah, so the neck. This is a plumbed neck in the Newport 2, which makes it the Newport 2 basically. And how it works is when you hold it like this, or when you can see how the neck is hanging, making the toe hang down.
Okay.
At about a 45-degree angle, so it's a mid-flow. Is what they call a mid-flow.
Yeah.
And what I would kind of expect to see that more from would be someone who's got an arcing stroke.
Okay.
Someone who's opening and closing the putter face a little bit more, perhaps.
Example of this is Tiger Woods. Used that putter for years and years and years, didn't he?
Yeah.
Still uses something very similar to that style of putter.
Exactly.
But he's got quite an arc in his stroke, hasn't he? So he does.
He's got a huge arc. Yeah.
So
quite amazing how he can actually control his arc so fluidly, but he works on that feeling of the toe taking over, which is kind of the idea behind this type of neck and style of putter.
So one thing that I want to add from the tech side of things when it comes to the Newport 2 is what you're seeing from previous models is they've lightened the overall head. So they've ripped out a lot of the weight and they've put it into these weight ports. Now the idea of that is to put more weight onto the outsides of the putter, making that putter a little bit more stable as it comes through the putt. So if you get off-centered strikes, you're going to get a little bit more stability in the putter itself, increasing the MOI. Right, James, give me some numbers. How is this Newport 2 performing for me?
I think it's performing really well. I think that it could perform better.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is your rotation isn't perfect, but I can tell that you use this putter because, as you can see there, your consistency is uber high.
Right.
So I can tell that you use this putter and you gain this putter and it works well for you.
Okay.
From a fitting perspective, I would say that you could use a little more flow, a little more toe flow.
So something to help rotate that
even maybe maximum flow.
Okay.
Which you'd see in a couple of putters that they've got.
And for someone like me who actually really enjoys looking down at that putter, really enjoys looking down at the neck of that putter, for me to go into a smaller profile of neck or something that creates a little bit more toe flow, it wouldn't necessarily suit my eye perfectly, should we say.
Correct.
So how do we work with that? You know, if someone's going out to choose a putter like this one, they might like the look of it.
Yeah.
How does that kind of work to you as a fitter?
Yeah, that's a good question. And the answer is honestly, when you first use potentially a slightly more toe flow putter, so a maximum flow of putter, the likelihood is that you're probably going to see your performance decrease a little bit when you first start using it, which is going to have an impact on the way you look at that putter. Although it may not be, you may think it's just aesthetics. If you're not performing with something, it's likely you're not going to like the look of it as well. But what I tend to do is I'll when I've done a fitting, I'll sometimes get someone to go out by themselves onto the putting green and maybe try the one that they love the most, the one that they like the look of, and maybe the one that I'm looking at and going, from a fitting perspective, that looks like it's best for you, and let them make the decision, because at the end of the day, it's entirely up to them. So
what loft am I actually presenting on this putter? Is it working for what I need it for?
Absolutely, yeah. So as we spoke previously, it's got 3.5 degrees of loft on this putter. You are 0.3 de-lofting the putter, which means that present is 3.2 degrees of loft at impact. Your predicted launch is 2.8 degrees, which is good. Tour average is between 2 and 3 degrees.
Okay. Now let's talk about tours and the reality of what we actually play. So I'm somebody that plays all year round. I play on winter greens now where they're slow. I play on summer greens where they're super quick. Is 3.5 degrees the right loft for what I need?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah. Especially when, for example, myself and you playing in stuff like Winter Alliance, when we're playing on slightly hairier greens, shall we say, I would say that you would want a little bit more loft, because a little bit less loft, lowering your predicted launch, you're going to catch more blemishes in the green as you're hitting your
So
putts.
for people that are playing on quick greens, they want something with just maybe a fraction less loft. And if people are playing on consistently slow greens, they want to go into something with maybe just a fraction more loft. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much, yeah. That's what we're
having a happy medium there, which is what I've got, kind of works pretty much spot on for what we need, yeah?
I think it does, yeah. When you're on tour and you're in the tour van each week and getting things changed up all the time, depending on the golf course that you're playing, that's a different story. But for your average Joe, or for myself, or for you, we can get a certain putt that we like, and we can use it for diversity around the golf courses that we play.
So there you go, guys. There's a little review of the Scotty Cameron Newport 2 putter. Just a little insight in for you guys to have a little look at if you're out there looking for a new putter. Big thank you to James for helping us out with today's video. Don't forget, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We've got loads more content coming your way. And as always, stay safe, and we'll catch up with you again soon.